Welcome back to The Clue, where history-hidden stories are told in simple words for everyone everywhere. So today's journey takes us to Ethiopia, one of Africa's oldest kingdoms, and to a man whose name became legendary. Haile Selassie I, the Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. Born Tafari Mekonnen in 1892 in the region of Hara, he grew up in a noble family connected to Ethiopia's ruling dynasty. So from childhood, Tafari was marked by intelligence, discipline, and a strong sense of duty, His education was rigorous, combining traditional Ethiopian teachings with exposure to modern ideas. He quickly distinguished himself as a capable administrator, serving as governor of Hara and later as regent of Ethiopia. So in 1930, Tafari was crowned emperor under the name Haile Selassie I, meaning power of the Trinity. His coronation was a grand spectacle attended by dignitaries from around the world, including representatives from Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Ethiopia stood proudly as one of the few African nations never colonized, and Selassie's rise symbolized resilience and independence. Haile Selassie envisioned Ethiopia as a modern nation. He introduced a constitution, he built schools, he built hospitals and roads, and he sought to balance tradition with progress. His reforms aimed to strengthen Ethiopia's institutions while preserving its cultural heritage. But as time went by, challenges arrived. In 1935, Italy, under Benito Mussolini, invaded Ethiopia, seeking to expand its colonial empire. Despite Ethiopia's fierce resistance, the Italian military's advanced weaponry overwhelmed the defenders. Haile Selassie fled into exile in England, but he refused to remain silent. In 1936, he delivered a historic speech before the League of Nations in Geneva. With dignity and passion, he warned the world about the dangers of fascism and the consequences of ignoring aggression, his words, "It is us today, it will be you tomorrow," became one of the most famous appeals in history, a cry of justice and unity. Though the League failed to act decisively, Selassie's speech elevated him as a global symbol of resistance as at the time. So during World War II, with British support, he returned triumphantly to Ethiopia in 1941, reclaiming his throne. His stature grew beyond Ethiopia. To many Africans, he embodied independence and dignity. To followers of the Rastafari movement, which emerged in Jamaica, he was seen as a divine figure, the living symbol of African pride and redemption. His image became iconic, appearing in art, music, and faith. Haile Selassie's rise was not just the story of one man, but of a nation asserting itself against empire. Ethiopia's survival under his leadership inspired movements across Africa, reminding the world that colonial domination was not inevitable. Haile Selassie ruled Ethiopia for decades, guiding the nation through modernization and diplomacy. His reign was marked by both achievements and contradictions. Internationally, Selassie was respected. He hosted world leaders, he attended global summits, and he became a founding figure of the Organization of African Unity, that is the OAU, in 1963. He believed Africa should stand together, He believed Africa should be free from colonial influence, and his speeches inspired generations of leaders. His vision of a united Africa resonated deeply during the era of independence movement sweeping the continent. Domestically, Selassie pursued modernization. He expanded education, he introduced new legal codes, and he encouraged industrial development. Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, grew into a hub of diplomacy and culture. Yet modernization was uneven. Rural areas remained impoverished and traditional hierarchies persisted. As the decades passed, cracks began to show. Poverty, inequality, and famine grew worse. Many Ethiopians felt excluded from the benefits of modernization while the royal court remained wealthy. Selassie's leadership style was cautious and centralized, often slow to respond to crisis. So by 1973, a devastating famine struck northern Ethiopia. Tens of thousands died, and the government silenced and angered the people. International media coverage exposed the suffering, further eroding confidence in Selassie's rule. By 1974, protests spread across the country. Students, workers, and soldiers demanded reform. The DAG, a group of military officers, seized power, presenting themselves as champions of the people. Haile Selassie, that once hailed as a hero and visionary, was arrested and confined to his palace. The man who had ruled for 44 years, who had spoken for Africa and stood against fascism, was now a prisoner in his own home. And then the story took a dark turn. Selassie's fall reflected the contradictions of his reign. He was admired abroad but criticized at home. He modernized Ethiopia but failed to address deep inequalities. His cautious styles, once a strength, became a weakness in times of crisis. Yet, even in decline, his influence remained. The Organization of African Unity, that is the OAU, which he helped found, continued to shape African diplomacy. His speeches calling for unity and dignity echoed across the continent. On August 27, 1975, Haile Selassie I was assassinated in Addis Ababa. Official reports claimed he died of natural causes, but many believe he was strangled by soldiers acting under orders from the new regime. His body was buried secretly beneath the palace grounds, hidden from public view. So for years, the truth was concealed. Only decades later, in the year 2000, were his remains discovered and reburied with full honors in Addis Ababa's Trinity Cathedral. The ceremony was attended by dignitaries, Rastafarian followers, and Ethiopians who still revered him. His death marked the end of Ethiopia's monarchy and the beginning of a turbulent era under military rule. The DAG imposed a harsh regime leading to years of conflict, repression, and economic hardship. Ethiopia's transition was painful, and many looked back to Selassie's reign with nostalgia, despite its flaws. Yet, Haile Selassie's legacy endures. He remains a symbol of African unity, dignity, and resistance. His speeches are studied in classrooms and quoted in parliament. His image lives on in art, music, and faith. For Rastafarians, he is a spiritual figure, a messiah whose vision of redemption continues to inspire. Selassie's life raises profound questions. Was he a reformer undone by circumstance, or a monarch too courteous to adapt? Was his death a political act or a cover-up? This debate keeps his story alive, reminding us that history is never simple. Haile Selassie I, the emperor who stood tall against empire, the emperor who dreamed of a united Africa and whose mysterious death still raises questions today. This was The Clue, bringing you the hidden stories of history in simple words. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of Haile Selassie I, hit like, share and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, do you think his death was a political act or a cover-up? Let's uncover the truth together. So thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next documentary.